Okay, so this is day 2. Yeah, microphone's working, just checking. Day 2 of my CrossFit Get Fit thing. So I'm here at a gym called CrossFit Currahee. I'll turn this around so you can have a look at the front. There you go. So it looks like a pretty cool gym, actually. I like it. It looks quite new and modern, so I'm going to pop in and see what's happening. And I'll get back to you in a minute. Alright, so I came in a little bit early so that I could, I like to do that anyway to make sure I'm not late, because you know there's probably a waiver to fill in. It's good to introduce yourself to the coach. As well, I have like a ton of injuries, right, you know, so it makes it a little bit difficult sometimes. I like to give them a bit of an advance notice so that they can try and work out something for me to do. So obviously I've got problems with my knee flexion and extension. I can do heavy singles, it's just like the volume stuff that is bad for me. So unfortunately today's workout is like 50 wall balls, 7 muscle ups, 100 double unders, like an AMRAP of that. I'm having a little bit of a panic at the moment because the coach's solution for me when I told him I couldn't do wall balls because I've had cortisone injections in my tendons was, okay, cool, that's no problem, we'll just use a lighter ball, which is probably I don't even know what to say to be kind about that, to be honest. So I'm just going to refuse that option and just make my own scale up. So yeah, I mean, any of you that have any athletes with bad knees, the solution's not to keep the volume the same. It's probably to change it. Alright, so anyway, this is what the gym looks like. It's pretty cool. So I have like a lifting area over on one side, looks like maybe a weightlifting club or open gym, and then other people doing their stuff. It's a super cool space. So anyway, I'm going to fill my waiver out and then I'll get back to you after I've destroyed my knees. Okay, so I decided to wait until I was back to the hotel before making my report on today's day of fitness, day 2, because I was a little bit annoyed when I finished the workout. And I wanted to make sure that I was in a less emotional state when I read it. So basically, I wanted to make this vlog every day about my my journey going back into being fit. I didn't want it to be me critiquing gyms and coaches. However, I think that that's inevitable. Otherwise, this would be very boring for people to watch, because I'm just going to go, today I went to this CrossFit gym, I had a really good workout, thanks, bye. And I want it to be honest. I don't want it to be me crapping on people, but I do know how this thing works. And I'm also now, for one of the first times, an end user. So I want to be able to give an honest opinion as an end user of the product, and also that will help me as a coach as well, because I can see things that other people have done that I may or may have not done myself in the past and try to eliminate them. So my experience today was one of frustration. I don't think I got as good a workout as I could have because the coach wasn't willing to scale things right, or maybe unable, I don't know. And he was very inattentive. So basically, I've heard of gyms like this before, that people would say, I don't like going to this gym because it's just like a big massive bro sesh. And that was my experience of the gym. So when I arrived there, I was ignored completely. Like, not a single member approached me to say hi, and there was no staff that came to talk to me either. So I ended up having to introduce myself, but this was after standing awkwardly, sort of like in the middle of the room for 3 to 5 minutes. So as a coach, I will think about how I introduce myself to other people in future. There are people that I know in gyms that are fantastically good at this. Willie Graham at CrossFit Murrayfield is someone that springs to mind, because that dude is super friendly to anyone that walks in the door. He's straight over, hi, I'm Willie, nice to meet you. There are other gyms that are kind to people too, like Big J over in New Jersey, and you know, other friends like Robin and Chris at Jacana. Those are really nice people too. The Glacier guys, super friendly. I can't list all the friendly ones, you know, but what I can say is that having had an experience like this today, it makes me think as a coach about times where I may or may not have been as welcoming as I could have been towards members. So it was a good learning experience for me to see how it feels to stand there feeling and looking a bit lost. I think if I was someone that was brand new to CrossFit, had never done it before, and I'd sort of built up my confidence to go in and try this thing out, I think that would have been very off-putting for me. Also, like I mentioned at the beginning, that I said I couldn't do wall balls because my knees, or my quad tendon actually, and I was told, okay, cool, that's fine, well, we'll just give you a lighter wall ball, and that'll be you. Well, not really, because it's the exact same movement. So that's not really an appropriate scale. I also wanted another scale for double unders, because I said I didn't want that repeated impact on the floor. I offered to do calories on the assault bike, which was also declined, and I was told, no, I want everyone on a rope. So I think unwillingness from coaches to scale was something which was new for me, especially when I was needing it because of injury, and especially when I gave my own options to them, which were perfectly good. The coach also spent, I'd say 90% of the class not in the class. He spent a lot of time on his phone. He spent a lot of time on Spotify changing the music to something that he liked better, and an awful lot of time just chatting to people that were over doing weightlifting club or open gym on platforms near the door. It was so bad that I stopped working out and asked the person next to me, like, hey, is this normal? Does this guy normally do this? And they were like, oh, I don't know. So, however, what I would like to say, another point, is that before I left, I sat down on chairs to cool down, and I watched the next coach take this class. And the next coach was fantastic and did a really good job. She was right on, like, finding scales for everybody, making sure everybody was doing something to preserve the stimulus and the intensity of the workout, explained everything super well, made sure everyone was doing things appropriate for their own level. So I guess my takeaway from that I would give advice to people is that you have to not just try a variety of gyms, but you have to try the same gym a variety of times. If I'd had that coach there, I would be making a very positive report to you guys right now about how my day went. So just because you have a bad coach doesn't mean that you might join the gym and never have that coach again. They might not teach the classes that you want to attend, or maybe they're just having a bad day, right? And they might never have a bad day again. So you have to give each and every gym opportunity to show you what they've got on a couple of occasions before you make your mind up. So, synopsis of my day 2 of fitness was, I was a little unhappy. The gym was very cliquey and unwelcoming. The coach didn't do any coaching, and my knee is killing me because it didn't scale for me. So that's that. My own takeaway, like I said, is be more friendly to people that come into the gym, because they might be feeling a little bit nervous and lost. And make sure that you don't use your phone, spend too much time changing music, or talking to people that are not actually members of the class during the class time. They're paying good money to be coached, therefore you must coach. All right, so looking forward to a more positive experience tomorrow, onwards and upwards, and I'll see you then.